It's Monday. That means it's Setup Monday on the weekly Brave New Coin series. Had some massive vaccine news today. Pfizer reporting 90% efficacy of their coronavirus vaccine. Markets going haywire. Up, down, kablooey. Back and forth. Super volatile today. Going to highlight two things besides BTC and ETH, and that's the VIX, the volatility index, the fear index, and DXY, the dollar index. So looking at the VIX, there was a tweet a while ago saying that the VIX won't go below 20 without a vaccine. Well, here we are getting closer and closer to a vaccine. If VIX can continue to decline to zero, that would be massively bullish for BTC. You can just see these spikes just decay as BTC took off in 2016, 2017. To get a similar effect here would not surprise me. So the setup here is to watch for the VIX, put it on your chart. Look at it once a day minimum. Look at it 4:30 p.m. EST every day. Look at the close, basically, of U.S. markets. See what it is. Is it higher than yesterday, lower than yesterday? Let that be a loose gauge. For where BTC might go. Next, I want to talk about DXY. There's been increasing clarity regarding the potential next president of the United States, which may or may not have some effects on DXY. Leading into Monday Open, there was a bit of a TA influence that this was going to bounce. So to see the vaccine catalyst with the TA makes sense to me. Falling wedge. Bullish divergence all the way down. I still think we do get a stimulus in the US. I really do. Regardless of the vaccine. I think that has to come. Big or small, that will have an effect on the DXY. Obviously, size will correlate with size of the stimulus for the US. If we zoom out, trend still says Dixie's bearish. It's going to remain bearish until it's above 95.5. So no real concern there as far as DXY strength. And if we zoom way out for targets, it's still looking like 88.90 to me. Whether it takes another week to consolidate before it breaks down, whether we get a bunch more vaccine tweets or stimulus tweets or Biden versus Trump, the next president tweets, I don't think any of that matters. I think it's inevitable that DXY is headed down. If anything, this looks more and more like a bearish setup. Bear flag, bear continuation, etc., etc. Looking at BTC, looking at ETH here on the next chart. Really, I'm looking at one thing, and that's the cloud. Again, for me, the cloud is just so powerful at predicting trend, predicting bounce targets, predicting overbought, oversold. So currently we have a bit of a TK C-clamp disequilibrium. We get this when price goes up or down quickly. You can see three other examples here. Sometimes it lasts a week. Sometimes it lasts 2 months. But typically there was always a return to the mean at the Kijun. You can see in every case, in this case it was bearish continuation, in this case it was reconsolidation, in this case it was reconsolidation to the upside. So at some point, it is inevitable that this returns to the mean. I don't think that happens necessarily within the week. It may be 2 to 4 weeks out if we stall here at 15, between 15 and 16. But again, with the backdrop of the VIX, the DXY, random news tweets about vaccines, presidents, stimulus, all that could finally be some sort of catalyst to slow this sucker down one way or the other for a mean reversion to around 13. That's the ultimate target. I don't expect this Kijun to increase. It's going to just stay flat. Tenkin will increase and the TK separation will get bigger and more convincing like it did here. You'll see it increase, increase, increase. Tenkin will go flat. You'll have this flat Kijun, flat Tenkin, just as you did here, just as you did here. And then it's very convincing that, okay, this is probably going to slow down, jump out of long positions at that point, go into hedges or short positions at that point. Definitely have bids on the book at 13 at that point. So this is all probably not this week, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. I'd expect it within now and beginning of December, definitely. Looking at ETH, it's kind of lagging BTC here. It just had its bullish TK recross above cloud. It just had its bullish reconsolidation. So to expect another mean reversion so soon doesn't make too much sense. So maybe ETH has another impulse, makes a higher high, and then mean reverts to 395 or whatever the Kijun will be at that point in time. But all the same principles apply. Either you get this large disequilibrium that is signaling overbought conditions, or you get this slow roll where the mean has to catch up to price eventually. So we're kind of nowhere near any of that now. It's just it's early bull for this. So again, it doesn't really make sense to mean revert anytime soon. So I think over the next week, ETH will probably outperform BTC. I expect BTC to stall a little bit. I expect alts to kind of outperform here in the near term. But all that can change on any news catalyst, any random tweet from a variety of people. So those are your setups for the week of November 9th.